Welcome back to the Message Reviews podcast. I got a somewhat controversial take, I guess you would say, on Fast 9. Look, you either loved it or you hated it. Let's be realistic here. I hated it. And when I say I hated it, I mean I liked it at first. But after I thought about it, there's a couple of big flaws that really turned me off about the movie. And we'll break into that today. So, again, welcome to the Message Reviews podcast. Sorry I've not posted a podcast in a couple weeks. That's going to change. We're going to make sure we start posting at least once a week, maybe twice a week. I'm also live streaming all podcasts that we do and walking through the editing process on Twitch TV /Message27. That's been my Twitch user for over years. I'm not changing it now, so that's where the stream will be. Typically Tuesday through Friday, I will probably be on sometime between noon and 5 o'clock. We'll be doing nothing but creating content on the stream. It'll be a lot of podcasts. It'll be reviews for the TikTok. And I'm starting a new TikTok channel where I'll be doing covers. That will also be on the stream while we stream it. So it's basically just giving me a chance to stream everything I do, live stream it, and then I'm recording at the same time, and then editing, so you can literally follow every single process of what we're working on. So if you want to, go ahead and follow that, and I'd love to see you around. Now, here's the thing. When I record things, like right now, and in the stream, do not expect me to read any chat, because I got to focus and I got to make sure I finish the actual podcast portion of it, and then we break down to the editing portion. If you're in there and you want to chat, you have questions, I will gladly answer questions while we're editing and things of that matter. I think that's fair enough. So let's jump into the podcast for the day. First things first. This podcast, like I said, it's going to be about Fast 9. But I did want to briefly talk about the Tomorrow War that just came out on Amazon Prime, because I watched it. I did a TikTok review on it. So we're going to start with that, then we'll get into my Fast 9 anger, I guess you would call it. My Fast 9 anger. Because I've got quite a few problems with the movie. Quite a few at this moment. Let's talk about Tomorrow War real quick. So the Tomorrow War came out on Amazon Prime. Chris Pratt stars in it. It is a movie about a war 30 years into the future. So some creatures have landed, and they found a way to go back in time 30 years, and they are basically recruiting people in those 30 years to go help fight the war. They quickly go through the time travel portion of it. They do explain it, but it's like very brief. But they get straight into it, and I very, very, very much enjoyed the movie. It's getting great reviews. Everyone I talk to loves it. So if you have not seen the Tomorrow War yet, I highly recommend going on to Amazon Prime and watching it. And if you don't have Amazon Prime, that's nuts, because I don't know anybody who doesn't have Amazon Prime. So go check it out, Tomorrow War. It is on Amazon Prime, like I said. Chris Pratt, it's a solid film if you're not watching it. Wow. One of the reviews we did for this week, again, we did another Dr. Squatch. I did the Pine Tar. I said it once, I'll say it again. Dude, Dr. Squatch is killing it. You got to go pick it up. Look, I don't get paid to say this. It was really cool that they responded to my my TikToks. I don't get paid for it. I'm just telling you right now, it's easily my favorite. So you buy the trial ones where you try different ones. Just know that when you get to the Pine Tar, you're not going to do any other ones. So I recommend doing that one last. And that was recommended to me. I just didn't do it. All right. So again, the reason for the podcast. Let's get into it. Fast 9. Why I extremely disliked it. Right. So I'm going to walk you through it. So first things first, I've been pumped for this movie for months. Like, if you follow my buddy Jagzilla's stream, we talk about it multiple times. We did trivia on it for 2 weeks on just all the Fast movies. Very much looking forward to this movie. At first, I watched it. Okay. I knew it was going to be a little, crazy, and it makes no sense because all of them past like 5 just don't make any sense when it comes to the stunts and all that stuff that they do. But I can live with that, right? This is what today's action movies are about, right? These car scenes that are stupid, crazy, insane, that just don't make any sense. This it gives you a chance to shut your brain off and kind of relax, right? If you know that going in and you can understand that and be okay with that, then it's not that big of a deal. The problem is they have always wanted to top themselves and they go too far. Like this one. They went way too far. Are you kidding me? A car in space? That is unnecessary. It's unnecessary. All right. Anyways, I digress. So I kind of already talked about on TikTok one of the things I didn't like about it. So I'm going to go over those briefly, and then I'll give you the really one, which kind of like over the top pissed me off. So first things first, Han came back. Everybody loves Han. Right? They brought him back once. They brought him back again. They don't talk about it enough. They briefly kind of bring it up. It was like a very quick pass over just so they can keep moving on and move on with the process. Now, did they kind of need him for the storyline? Yeah, they kind of did for this particular storyline, but they could have figured out something else, to be honest. Look, you kill off a character, you kill off a character. Okay? It is what it is. Just stick with what you did. It's not my fault that you made a badass character in movie number 3, so then you had to find a way to bring him back once, even though there's flip phones in 3 and they're not in 4, 5, and 6. Right? But then to kill him off and he's still alive, and there's no effing way, man. If you watch the scene where he dies in number 3, there's no way he gets out of that car in time. Zero chance. So there's one of my reasons why I'm upset about it. I love Han, but Han shouldn't be in this movie, period. Okay? The number one reason why this is the worst Fast 9, or the worst Fast Saga movie in the whole franchise, is because this particular movie, I'm trying not to cut, it messed up number 1 for me. It messed up number 1 for me. Now in my head, I only watch 1 through 6 and I leave it at that. Okay? I can't enjoy 7 or 8 ever again, because if I enjoy 7 or 8, then I have to watch 9. I'll watch the 2 sets of 10 when they come out, but I'm not going to be happy about it. This is why. So you get the backstory of Dom and his brother in this movie. You watch these old scenes where they go back in time, or like, it's a flashback. It shows him as a younger person. It shows his little brother as a younger person, and it shows their dad, which, by the way, can't think of the actor. I love his dad in Mayans. If you've ever seen Mayans, it's the main character of Mayans is playing their dad when they do the flashback scene. So they go over, the dad teaching them a lot of things about cars, the races, things of that matter, and then they show what happens, and they explain what happens in this movie when Dom's father dies. Right? I'm letting you know, spoilers, so just spoilers, okay, real quick. If you have not seen the movie, you need to watch the movie before I start just unleashing information. I've given you 2 weeks. I think I've given you plenty of time. Unless you're watching this live, you get 3 weeks. So Dom's little brother cuts a cable in the on the engine block that makes the car explode, because he had to throw the race because he was in a lot of debt from bookies, right? That's how it happens. So in this movie, Dom doesn't realize that. He realizes it later, because he ends up going to jail, and that's how he figures it out. He figures it out in jail, what happened. But the scene where he beats up the guy with the wrench that killed his father, right? Killed his father, in his mind that killed his father, is what got it for me. In Fast and Furious, the first original movie, when he's in the garage with the Dodge and him, and Paul Walker in there, and they're talking about that car and why it scares him, and he talks about how he beat up some guy with the wrench and he couldn't stop because he had just killed his father. When you see that scene, I have zero sympathy anymore for Dom. The guy even says, so the guy that killed his father, Dom's dad knows how that guy races, and it's dirty, and he was going to push him up against the wall anyways. Dom's dad knew. Dom's dad did not do what he should have done, which is move this or fall back a little bit or speed up. And then between that and the cut of the hose that made the car explode, it made the crash crazy. Like, you see his car go in the air and flip or whatever. and it lit on fire and killed him probably instantly. But when you watch that scene, them trying to explain it, like him talking to Dom, because after he died, you see the car burnt on a trailer. He was going over there to pay his respects, he said, and then Dom grabbed a wrench and beat the living hell out of him. After watching that scene, the sympathy you feel in Fast and Furious 1 for Dom, because like, oh, he just lost his brother, blah, 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 goes out the door. The conversation that they showed having been placed in that scene is not what Dom, it's not how Dom talks about it in Fast and Furious 1. And this is why I hate this movie. In Fast and Furious 1, this guy is a killer. You already know he's a killer. There's multiple people that say, all the cops talk about it, the FBI agents talk about how he beat a guy with the wrench, that when you hear his side of the story about how his father died, you have a little bit of sympathy for him. Oh, wow, that's rough. I understand. If I lost my father and that guy was, I would want to do the same thing. After that conversation, zero sympathy. Zero. I get it, but you got to have better self-control than that, especially because you know it's a race. They know each other. They race against each other. That is what has killed this movie for me. This movie killed itself for me because of that one scene. I feel like it just undid all the other movies. So, yeah. Anyways, that's my rant. That is why this movie has pissed me off. But anyways, thank you for watching the Message Reviews podcast. I'm not sure what we're going to talk about next week yet. I haven't thought about it, to be honest. If you have any suggestions, leave it in the comments. We'll find something to talk about, rant about, whatever. And I appreciate you stopping by. I will see you next time. Peace.